At the start of the story, a U.S. spaceship is seen racing toward Mars. Its mission? To find out if humans could actually live there. On board are 3 astronauts, Commander Patrick in charge, with 1 woman and another man beside him. They manage to land on Mars successfully, marking a historic moment. America becomes the first country to set foot on the red planet. The news spreads fast, and back on Earth, people are celebrating with pride and excitement. But far away, inside a mental asylum, a former scientist hears the news and instantly panics. His face goes pale as he mutters, "They shouldn't have gone there." Meanwhile, on Mars, Patrick steps out of the spacecraft and carefully collects soil samples into 3 separate containers. Everything seems to be going great, but once they're back inside and getting ready to return home, something terrifying happens. The temperature inside the ship suddenly changes. Then, out of one of the containers, a gooey jelly-like substance starts oozing out. And in a shocking twist, it attacks all 3 astronauts and knocks them out cold. 7 minutes later, the astronauts slowly wake up dazed and confused. Shockingly, none of them can remember a single thing about what just happened. Without suspecting anything strange, they contact NASA and begin their journey back to Earth. But hidden inside one of their containers is a terrifying secret. Patrick had unknowingly brought an alien organism back with the Martian soil. Thanks to the sudden temperature shift, the creature had awakened and infected them, but they had no clue. Now, we meet a brilliant yet mysterious female doctor working deep inside a research facility. She's created something unbelievable, a hybrid alien girl named Eve, formed using alien DNA. The doctor's goal is clear: to prepare the world in case of an alien attack. Eve lives in strict isolation, never allowed to step outside, and no men are ever permitted near her. Her hormones are carefully controlled to keep her calm, but deep inside, Eve is tired of being a science experiment. When the astronauts land back on Earth, the doctor runs tests and tells them they seem fine for now. But their blood results are still pending, and they're warned: no physical contact for the next 10 days. Soon after, the government throws a massive celebration for the Mars mission. At the party, a proud Senator Patrick's own father takes the stage and praises his son with glowing pride. After the party, Patrick completely ignores the doctor's warning and sleeps with 2 women. At that very moment, back at the lab, Eve's pulse skyrockets and she becomes intensely agitated, shocking the doctors, who have no idea what's triggering it. Soon, one of the women Patrick was with begins to feel an unnatural swelling in her stomach. And then, in a horrifying twist, an alien-human hybrid rips out from inside her, killing her instantly. The second woman is just as unlucky. She sees long, slimy tentacles sprouting from Patrick's body and tries to flee in terror, but it's too late. She dies after giving birth to yet another alien creature. Patrick, now disturbingly calm, takes both hybrid children and hides them in his old abandoned house. The next morning, shaken and confused, he confesses to his father that something terrifying happened after the party, but he can't remember the details. Instead of helping, his father brushes it off and says, "You should go into politics. Maybe even run for president someday." Meanwhile, the doctor reviewing their blood tests makes a horrifying discovery. An alien cell is overtaking human cells. As she panics and tries calling the former scientist, Patrick's blood sample suddenly spills on the floor, and a tentacle explodes from the wall, stabbing into her and killing her on the spot. The female doctor soon uncovers something chilling: the DNA from the samples looks similar to Eve's, but it's not a perfect match. That means someone or something else could be out there. She rushes to tell the colonel, warning him that another alien might be hiding among them. Alarmed, the colonel brings in an expert named Preston, and together they begin the hunt for the infected astronaut. Their first stop is the former scientist, who shares a horrifying history. He says that millions of years ago, an alien race invaded Mars, wiped out all life, and turned the once lush planet into a dead, rocky wasteland. He had warned the government not to send astronauts there, but no one believed him. They thought he was insane. Determined to get answers, the doctor and Preston decide to retest all 3 astronauts. They arrive at the woman astronaut's home only to find her and her husband dead. A deadly tentacle had struck during intimacy, ending both their lives in a grotesque scene. The second male astronaut is eventually located and tested, but he's clean. Then comes a shocking realization: the tentacle attack they once blamed on Eve, it actually came from the dead female astronaut's body. This revelation clears Eve of all suspicion. Meanwhile, Patrick wakes up next to his girlfriend's corpse and beside her, a grotesque alien child that burst from her body. Horrified and broken, he tries to end his life, but the alien DNA inside him activates, regenerating his body. His emotions fade, replaced by an overwhelming urge to mate. He goes on to impregnate multiple women, each one dying after giving birth to rapidly growing alien offspring secretly hidden by Patrick in his abandoned home. Patrick's friend finally comes forward and spills everything to the doctor and Preston. The truth is horrifying alien cells can regenerate, and Patrick has unknowingly brought a breeding alien species to Earth. Even worse, the hybrid children he's created will become fully grown in just 2 weeks. There's no time to waste. Patrick has to be stopped now. The Colonel urgently asks if Eve can help track Patrick down. The doctor reveals something shocking. Eve reacts physically every time Patrick has intercourse, which means there's a telepathic connection between them. But to fully unlock that power, they'd have to activate all of Eve's alien genes, and that's a huge gamble. If Eve escapes and mates with Patrick, the two of them could produce an unstoppable alien army. Despite the danger, the doctor moves forward and activates Eve's alien genes. Immediately, she senses Patrick heading toward a supermarket. Preston, the doctor, and Patrick's friend race after him. At the supermarket parking lot, Patrick abducts a young woman, but then suddenly stops. He can feel Eve watching him, and it freaks him out. He abandons the girl and is quickly captured and brought back to the facility. Inside, Eve becomes uncontrollably agitated. She knows Patrick is nearby and demands to see him. Patrick breaks free from his holding room and runs straight to her. Their alien DNA draws them together like magnets. But when the doctor refuses to release Eve, Patrick lashes out and tries to infect her. Thankfully, Preston and Patrick's friend burst in and spray him with a special gas weapon, forcing him to retreat. The Colonel pays a visit to Patrick's father and finally tells him the horrifying truth: his son is infected. Devastated, the father promises to do whatever it takes to save him. But as he embraces Patrick in a moment of emotional desperation, the alien inside Patrick strikes, killing his own father in cold blood. In that moment, the last bit of Patrick's humanity dies. He now throws himself into creating cocoons, rapidly growing his alien offspring. Meanwhile, the doctor, Preston, and Patrick's friend prepare for war. They create a deadly toxin from the uninfected astronaut's blood. It is their only shot at stopping him. As they gear up, Eve breaks free from her containment and speeds off to find Patrick. Her telepathic bond leads her straight to him. And soon, the two begin mating in their monstrous alien forms. The team arrives just in time and unleashes gas to destroy all the cocoons, killing Patrick's horrifying alien spawn. Then, they charge into the next room and come face to face with Patrick and Eve. The doctor pleads with Eve to help, and she does. Eve strikes Patrick with her tentacle, but he's too powerful. He throws her aside and kills her. With no time to lose, Preston and Patrick's friend stab him in the back with the toxin-laced weapon. Patrick lets out a piercing scream, then collapses, finally dead. But just as Eve's body is loaded into the ambulance, her stomach begins to bulge violently. She screams and her belly bursts open. The nightmare isn't over. Something new is coming.